Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Sunday, ruled by the sun, March 10th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 3 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So I'm laughing because the minute I clicked on this, an image came to mind and I'm just gonna share it. So for someone here, you're giving a relationship another shot. And it's so cute, and I'm laughing because I think it's so adorable. But the question to ask yourself is, what are we doing different this time around? If you don't know what you guys are doing different this time around, then you are on an insanity cycle. Like, what's to stop what happened before to happen this time around? I think of the people who rekindle their friendship, and it's like, why did you guys fall out before? And if that's not addressed and accountability is not taken on both sides, it's just a matter of time before y'all fall out again. Or to me, low key, for whatever reason, people might see benefits of being in each other's lives. So you now got you a frenemy type of situation. But of course, that's not for everyone. The energies in today feels very positive and optimistic. Optimistic because Jupiter's influence is so strong. March is, influenced with Jupiter energy because it's the 3rd month. The energies in the day adds up, reduced to number 3 vibration. More Jupiter, and today's the 10th. The sun energy is amplified, and today is Sunday, and the sun is in Pisces. So to me, today is that kind of day where it's like everything feels so good, and it feels so good in a bad way. Not in a bad way, but what I mean by that is, say the person that was in a very abusive relationship or friendship, today would be the kind of day that they totally forget every bad thing that ever happened. And they're so about all the good things that were happened, even though when you think of the relationship on a whole, only 10% of what happened in the relationship was good. And 90% of everything else was just not that good. And today's that kind of day where you could easily amplify that 10% that was good, make it 90, and make the 90 10%, and a cycle has begun. That's what I'm getting for today's energy. So today's energy is very promising. I don't know why today gives me Mercury retrograde vibe. Maybe Mercury retrograde vibe for some people because maybe some of us are revisiting and backtracking on certain things. But not even that. Today is the new moon in Pisces. And one thing with Pisces energy deals with the promise. And when I say the promise, our ability to project onto a situation and see the potential in a thing. So this is where we meet a friend or a partner and they seem promising. And when we say they seem promising, that's because they fit an image in our mind. It's a story, and they're, going to be casting a role that they didn't even know they signed up for, but they're going to be in this movie. But they better not step out of character, because if they do, this is where we're going to say they took advantage. They took advantage of me, but it's like, they've been consistent. You just been, you couldn't see it because the lights was so bright and you was yelling action the whole time. But something about today's energy that just feels hella exciting, and it feels good. Also, too, what I love about today's energy is the manifesting abilities within today. My thing is, don't waste your energy trying to resurrect the dead. especially if it's something that was no good to you. Like, move on. It just feels like someone's trying to resurrect the dead, and it's just not worth it, is what I'm getting. But like, say if you're not trying to resurrect the dead, and there's certain things that you want, like, I love the way how today's energy feel, where today's energy can help you into that feel good frequency that will make magic happen. Because when I look at the aspects being made, the new moon energy is positively aspecting Jupiter, Uranus, and Taurus. So it's like we could see how we could create more stability and security for ourselves. And it's positively aspecting Pluto in Aquarius, and we can see how us and them could do so well together and whatnot. But it's like, yes, it's so great that all of that is the case today. And again, if you choose to give something a second shot, please ask yourself, what are you doing different? And it doesn't even have to mean that you have a conversation with this person and they agree what they're going to be doing different. It could mean that, say for example, someone always finds themselves in a routine where it's like you keep dating this person, and every time they come into your life, y'all hang out, and then all of a sudden you find yourself getting into this emotional place where you end up getting disappointed and feel like they're playing with your emotions because clearly they don't want what you want. But even though they will say they don't want what you want, their actions might say that they want what you want. So it almost feels like they're leading you on. But like, say this has happened to you 5 times already, and now this is your 6th rodeo with this person. Like, at some point you need to take accountability and realize the kind of person that you're dealing with, and choose not to tangle, choose not to show up. Because maybe with them, they're so in their world, they don't see anything wrong here. They feel like you just keep spazzing out and keep tripping for no reason, where you want something more, but they can't see, they don't want something more, but you entertaining them says to them that you want what they want, but you want more than what they want, and you keep getting mad because like they won't go with you where it is that you're trying to go. And it's like, you don't got to open up your door, sir. You don't got to open up your door, ma'am. So to me, maybe the go around is, if you're going to entertain this person in your world, do things different. Recognize how you trip and you fall in the past, and don't allow yourself to trip and fall anymore. Or be honest with yourself and say, I can't be friends with this person because I want more and they don't want it, and it just hurts me. And stop trying. But within today's energies, I can see a person convincing themselves that they can handle something that they can't. And in today's energy, it feels amazing. It feels amazing. But like, is it sustainable? And when it comes to the spirit animal, we have the stingray. And I feel like the stingray energy brings me to like being out of balance because we're so lost in our emotions. And today's energy I feel like, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, it will be good to watch it. I don't know what it's going to be titled yet, but I know it's something about getting drunk and operating from the influence when it comes to emotions. Because to me, today is definitely a day where we could find ourselves operating from the influence of our emotions. But that's not a bad thing. But at the same time, for some of us who really get lost in it, you could find yourself overdoing things. And in the moment, it's fun. But later you might have buyer's remorse or some kind of a regret, because it's like the influence is just shot to your head. And it's like, I think of the person who go out to the restaurant, and I've seen, and what I love about being intuitive is that, to me, when you're an intuitive person, an empathetic person, is like in driving school, they taught us to drive you're not driving for yourself, but you're driving for the people on the road also. And I feel like as an empathetic person, sometimes you can spot people who are drunken off emotions and they want to give you the world. And this is where you have to stop and tell them, no, thank you. No, thank you, in the sense that, like, I remember going out to this restaurant once, and I was with a friend, and we started having conversation with this couple that was there that had met that day. And the guy, I could tell, and he was born on the 22nd of, I forgot the month, but that number 2 energy could be so emotional, and it was amplified. And we suggested something that we were having to him, and and the person he was with, and from that, he was so nice, where he offered to buy a bottle of wine to go. He offered to buy us a bottle of wine, and he was just doing so much in the sense like he was already in an emotional space that day. I don't remember where the planets were, what was happening, but he was already in an emotional space, and he was so excited that he met this young lady. He was at the gas station to get gas, and she opened up the door. She opened the door for him and waited for him. So just from her kind gesture, you know, he was so emotional because of that. His Mercury was in retrograde. I remember that because I remember talking to them about, because she brought up astrology, and I remember speaking about Mercury in retrograde and whatnot. And he was operating from such an emotional space to where tomorrow, when he wakes up to his reality, like he's going to probably punch himself. And I'm sure he has moments like that all the time. And it's moments like that that probably stops him from moving forward. But he was so drunken off of his emotions, and from that he was acting purely from that. And I spoke about that in yesterday's message. So I think if you've never seen yesterday's message, you should look into it, because I love how Spirit is guiding these sessions and how that flows into this, where it's important for you to know when you're under the influence, and know when you're under the influence how you need to be more conscious of how it is that you move. Because with this young man, you know, he was going through a divorce, I think, and some things he was going through. His Mercury was in retrograde, and you know, I've matured so much to where when I go out, I don't be speaking about astrology and stuff, or before I would want to say everything I know. It's like, check out this cool trick. But she started speaking on it. And when he said his Mercury was in retrograde, I pointed out to him, you know, your Mercury is in retrograde. Pay attention to how, since you've been here, you've been speaking about your past and how you're trying to get your future right, but you've been obsessing over your past. And with Mercury in retrograde, you know, you're spending so much time looking back, where how are you going to move forward if you're obsessing over the past? And I was telling him, you know, with Mercury in retrograde in your chart, it's easy to miss out on the moment and then feel robbed going through life, because you don't realize how amazing something was until you no longer can have it. So it's almost feeling like everything is taken away from you. So I told him about the importance of being present with this relationship that's forming, because they seem like they were really into each other, where something good could come from it. But it's like, you know, challenge yourself to be in the moment. Where it's like observing him that night, he was so in the past and then emotional because people were being kind to him in the moment. And that's something that some of us struggle with, and we're not even aware of it, where it's like the way we see ourselves. And I used to struggle with this too, where it's like the way you see yourself is so limiting or negative, to where someone showing you kindness, from someone showing you kindness, you feel the need you have to repay their kindness and not just allow them to be kind. Where with him, it seemed just from someone showing him simple kindness, he felt like he had to like go overboard. And, you know, I get someone saying, what if the guy was blah, blah, blah. Like if you were there, you would see what I'm talking about. But like I was saying to my friend while I was observing them, because my favorite thing about going out is people watching. Like I'll go out with other people and they'll probably get annoyed with me because I'm like a cat where its head is just looking around, because it's like, I guess it's like, and sometimes I'll try not to, because it's almost like, I don't know, people's energies also pull you in, like it wants to tell you a story. And I was saying to my friend, if I was her and I wasn't interested in him that way, I would have never allowed for him to take me here. That's what I'll say, if I wasn't interested in him that way. But then that might reflect on me in the sense like, why wouldn't you deserve blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I guess as an intuitive person, I could feel his energy and know that he is unconscious right now. He is drunk off emotion and a promise that he's made in his mind based on the possibilities that he saw, that hasn't checked in yet with her to see if she's on that same page. So something about the energies in today brings me to that. With this in the reversal position brings me to that, being so lost in one's emotion to the point that they'll do the most. But it's like, I'm still reflecting on this young man, and I say young man and he probably older than me, but I reflect on him, and you know, he was going through a lot, and I sympathize with him and what he was going through. But it's like, I just imagine him having 3-4 nights like that within a month. You know, like that's a big dent. Like that's a big, like, you know, having 3-4 months like that in a row and not it being a part of your budget. Like, I could easily see how, you know, he could easily find himself in situations where he's always trying to play catch up because he gets under the influence and it gets the best of him. And the Queen of Pentacles is the tarot energy that's coming out. And the Queen of Pentacles, of course, first thing, you know, you think of when it comes to this queen is the practical aspect of it and finances. This is the queen. This is that feminine energy that knows. And when I say feminine, we all have feminine energies within us. So it's that introspective organizing energy. So it's an introspective way to organize practical things on a tangible level, or it could be money. But this queen, if it's money, has the ability to track money easily. But more than anything, to me, it's all about managing your money. Like, it all comes down to managing money. And I feel like most people overlook what managing money is. And a person who overlooks what managing money is will always find themselves in situations where they feel like they're drowning. Where 1 minute you're feasting and then the next minute you're drowning. And then 1 minute you're feasting and then you're drowning again. To me, whenever a person finds themselves in those positions, lack of money management. And this queen knows how to manage money. And the reason why it's important to manage money, resources, energy, or manage life is because everything operates on a season, where there's moments when things are coming in nonstop. And then there's drought periods where if a person lacks proper management skills, when that drought hit, they're going to die of starvation because of their lack of management abilities. So when it comes to the Queen of Pentacles coming out today, it brings me to managing your energy, managing your resources. To me, managing your energy could look like me saying, know when you're under the influence. And under the influence meaning you're in a state of extreme happiness or sadness, or you're experiencing some kind of an emotion that is strong enough to move you. To me, that's under the influence. So for me, whenever I am under that, I know that I need to move differently. I need to move carefully. You know, I need to make sure that's not influencing how I'm giving or taking, how I'm operating in the moment. Then I have to check in with myself extra because of that. So this brings me to that reflective, introspective way of organizing the practical things in our lives. So when it comes to today's energy just brings me to that. It feels great though. It feels good. Like I said, today's energy is good for manifestation. It's good for bringing things in. It's good for making things happen. It's not so good for people who get super emotional, lost in their emotions, because then they're able to get taken advantage of. But it was such a pleasure sharing this message with you. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon, where I share exclusive content and also to become a part of the meetup group, which is my favorite thing on Patreon. The link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a yellow heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.